Hey, what's up everybody? This is the Bearded Parrot and I am back again for another cigar review. Today's cigar is going to be another Fugazi. If you've watched my first episode, I did the Fugazi Don Carlos. And what that is basically is a brand from Cigar Page. Is a mimic of a more premium brand. So Fugazi is a slang for fake. There's a bunch of different ones out there. I've smoked several of them. Some are good, some are not. The idea is it's a cheaper cigar, but you're going to get a similar experience, if not identical. A couple of those are pretty much nail on the head, and then others not so much. I have had this one in particular. This one is a Fugazi compared to the Aging Room Quattro Nicaragua. So what that basically means is it is a Nicaraguan Puro, is the style of the cigar. So the wrapper, binder, and the filler are all from Nicaragua. The original Aging Room I've never had. I've heard it's an amazing cigar. I have had several of these and they are really good. I would say close to amazing too, especially for a cheaper cigar in general. We'll get into that. I'll break the cigar down from the beginnings to the end. Price wise, you can get these on Cigar Page for $3. The Aging Room you can get for around the $14 range. As you can see, quite a bit of savings. You're looking at $10, $11 savings depending on the size and how many you buy. Quite a bit of savings if you're okay with that and you know, okay with smoking a cheaper cigar but still getting the same experience. To me, it's all names. What really matters is the actual experience itself with cigars. Cut it, light it, smoke it. If you enjoy it, then sweet. Then that's all that matters. You know, you don't have to spend $30 on a cigar just to say you did and you think it's the best experience known to man because it was $30. I just don't believe that. I've had really expensive cigars and I a lot of times don't think they're worth that price. So everyone has a different palate, but let's see if we can take a closer look at this cigar. See if my camera will cooperate here. Good. It's about as good as I'm going to get it, I think. Took me a while to even get that. It keeps going in and out of focus for some reason, but I mean, as you can see, really dark cigar, super oily. You can see some oil spots in particular, really toothy, and like kind of a reddish hue to it as well. I really love that on cigars. Also, you can see here that it is a torpedo. All right, let's go ahead and smell the foot. So I'm not really getting a ton off the foot, maybe a little bit of a nutty smell to it. Not much though on this one. All right, now that we've smelled the foot, let's go ahead and clip this guy and do a cold draw, see what we get on the cold draw. All right, here we go. Earth, spice, maybe a little bit of chocolate taste too. Pretty good, actually. I'm surprised because the foot itself didn't really have much of a smell, but a little bit more in the cold draw. So I'm going to go ahead and light this up, and when I come back, I'll tell you about the first third of the cigar. Be back in a second. Hey, what's up? I'm back, and I'm just getting through the first third of the Quattro Nicaragua Fugazi version, I must say. Very enjoyable smoke so far. Very effortless draw. Nice burn, though, on these Fugazis. I typically tend to ash it very quickly just because the ash is a little bit loose. The Fugazis are more of a Cuban sandwich, so what that means essentially is mixed filler, so it's not long filler all the way through. There's short, medium, and long filler kind of mixed together. That's typical on really cheaper cigars, and that's what this pretty much is. Give you a good smoking experience, but for an affordable price, and it's a fair trade-off overall. I don't mind ashing a bunch. I usually do it anyway. Flavor wise on the first third so far, getting a lot of chocolate. Getting a lot of the pepper and spice coming through, of course, with that typical Nicaraguan spice. Some cream and even some coffee. I wouldn't say espresso, like a very dark espresso, but almost like kind of like a lighter medium roast mixed with that cream and that chocolate and that pepper. Very enjoyable though. Really loving this cigar. I've had several of these. I'm down to only one after this one, so I'm gonna have to actually pick up more. Like I said before, $3 range on Cigar Page. Really can't beat it. Go ahead and take a puff here. I had to relight it. It's been sitting for a second, so I got busy doing something else. But let's go ahead and take a puff and see what we get smoke-wise here. Great cigar. As you can see, lots of smoke, very effortless draw. Didn't have to really puff on it much at all. It is a straight cut just because it's a torpedo, so it's easier to do a straight cut on those. I typically do the V cuts now. I like how it kind of funnels the flavor down. It does help a little bit with that, and then you also don't get as much tobacco in your mouth with a V cut, but on torpedoes you kind of can't help it and you're doing the straight cut. Really good so far. This is the first third, so starting to get into the halfway point here, and I'll cut it for now and keep smoking it. When I come back, I'll talk about that halfway point, and then we'll get into the nub and see what we get there too towards the end of the cigar. Looking forward to it. Be back in a second. What's up? I'm back. And I'm actually closing out the cigar here. I was going to come back and talk about the halfway point before we talk about the nub. It's a really good cigar, and kept smoking it, so apologize there, but hey, it's a really good smoke. Overall, great cigar, perfect draw, no burn issues, great construction, beautiful wrapper, tons of flavor, very full body, great flavor profile all the way down. Talk about from the beginning to the end, so you can kind of see the transitions overall. In that first third, like I said, I was getting chocolate and pepper and cream and coffee, amazing combination. And then as it started to build up in strength, I started to get a lot of pepper, more pepper forward, and a lot of dark earth kind of in that middle point. As it rounded out towards the end, still a lot of pepper forward, a lot of rich earth tobacco taste, and a little bit of that chocolate came back too. The cream was mainly in the beginning, but hey, for $3 a stick, it's pretty complex overall, in my opinion, for $3. Really great smoke overall. Lots of smoke, effortless draw, great flavor. $3, can't beat it, especially when it's compared to a cigar that's normally $13 or $14. Save you a little bit of money there. You can pick that up again on cigarpage.com. Not affiliated with them, but I do buy a lot of cigars from Cigar Page and also Cigar Bid. Those are kind of my favorite places to get cigars. Really good sticks at a really great price, essentially, at both those places. Pretty much it. Great cigar overall, so I definitely recommend pick these up. I will be buying more myself. This has been the Bearded Parrot, and this has been the Fugazi compared to Aging Room Quattro Nicaragua. And until next time.